Chosen one, listen. This moment is not random. This moment has been circling you like a prophecy waiting to land. There are things in the heavens that have been whispered long before your name ever reached the mouths of men. You are not here by accident. You are not watching this by chance. The angels themselves spoke of you before the end was revealed, and the fact that you are hearing this right now is proof you are living inside the unfolding of a divine secret. You have felt it, haven't you? The strangeness of being set apart. The weight of carrying something invisible, yet undeniable. You have walked rooms where your presence shifted the entire atmosphere without a word. You have endured nights where sleep could not hold you because something greater was pressing on your spirit. You have carried burdens that were never explained by logic, only by heaven's calling. And deep inside, you know your life has never belonged to you alone. I need you to understand this. You were spoken of before time stamped your birth. There were conversations in the unseen, blueprints drafted in eternity, and your name was etched into the plan. The forces of darkness tried to erase it. They tried to intercept, to confuse, to bury you under false identities and counterfeit paths. But they failed, because heaven had already announced you. The divine message is this: you are a signpost in this generation. You are a carrier of what has been hidden. The end was known before the beginning, and your role in this story was written long before your first breath. And though you may doubt, though you may wrestle with the ordinary details of your life, the truth remains: you are extraordinary because the heavens said so. Chosen one, let this sink into you. Angels have spoken of you, not in vague terms, not in symbolic riddles. They have spoken with clarity, with intent, with certainty that your steps would matter when the end approached. And now, the end is drawing near, not just of time as we measure it, but of cycles, of patterns, of the reign of shadows that has tried to silence light. You stand at a threshold that others do not even perceive. This message is not here to entertain you. It is here to awaken you, to shake you, to remind you that your existence carries weight in places you cannot see. The end is not something to fear. It is something to fulfill. And when it comes, your name will not be absent from its unfolding. So hear me. What has been concealed is about to be revealed. And you are the vessel heaven chose to hold it. What you are hearing now is not born of human imagination. It does not come from empty echoes or crafted phrases meant to stir emotion. This comes from a deeper place, the breath of the eternal, the voice that has always been speaking, even when the world around you refused to listen. There is a reason you have been sensing an invisible pressure on your soul. The source is not chaos, not accident, not coincidence. The source is divine. It is the one who formed galaxies out of nothing, who spoke light into the dark void, who numbered your days before you ever opened your eyes. That same voice is reaching through time right now, touching your heart and saying, "This moment was meant for you." You are hearing what was decided long ago. Heaven's counsel did not argue about your purpose. They confirmed it. Angels did not speculate whether you would make it. They carried messages across realms, declaring that you would. God himself, the Alpha and the Omega, has chosen to draw near in this hour, not to confuse you, not to burden you, but to assure you that his hand has always been upon you. Feel it. The pulse of eternity brushing against your temporary existence. Feel how everything slows down when truth enters the room. Because what you are receiving now is not information, it is confirmation. A reminder that no matter how twisted the storyline of your life has seemed, the author has never lost the pen. The divine voice does not speak casually. Every word carries weight. And the weight of this word is this: you were destined to stand as a sign that heaven still intervenes in human affairs. When people mock faith, your life is the rebuttal. When shadows declare victory, your existence is the contradiction. When the world doubts divine power, you are the living evidence that God's plan cannot be overturned. There are moments in history where God bends low and whispers into the ear of creation. This is one of them. That is why your spirit has been restless. That is why you have been feeling both out of place and yet completely aligned at the same time. You are not hearing me by accident. You are hearing the reverberation of a message that has been circling your soul since before you could speak. So let the weight of this truth rest upon you. Heaven's eyes are fixed on you, not with judgment but with expectancy, not with condemnation but with anticipation. Every trial you have endured has been shaping you, chiseling you, stripping away what cannot carry the glory of what is about to come. And now, the Spirit says, prepare. Stay awake. Stay open. Because what was hidden is drawing near. The curtain is about to be lifted. And when it is, you will not just be a witness, you will be a participant in the prophecy that angels themselves announced before the end was revealed. The curtain begins to shift now. The veil between what has been hidden and what is being revealed is thinning, and you can almost feel the draft of eternity brushing against your skin. This is the moment you have been sensing in fragments, through dreams that lingered past morning, through sudden waves of intuition that came without explanation, through signs in the natural that seemed too exact to be coincidence. The prophecy is not something far off, it is already unfolding. It begins with a stirring, a quiet but unshakable awareness that time itself has bent toward you. You may not have asked for it. You may not have even felt ready for it. But readiness was never the condition, destiny was. Heaven did not choose you because you were perfect. Heaven chose you because you were purposed. And now the prophecy, spoken by angels long before human lips could shape it, is pressing through the atmosphere. Your life is about to disrupt the narrative of this age. There is a sequence of events destined to shake what the world has called unshakable. Systems that have stood for generations will crack. Powers that believed themselves untouchable will tremble. The prophecy declared that in the days when shadows grow boldest, a light would rise, not a generic light, but a precise one, carried in fragile vessels like you. This is not poetic exaggeration. It is the reality of divine orchestration. You have been set as a marker in this generation. The trial that approaches will not be small. It will not flatter your comfort or appeal to your convenience. It will stretch you, test you, and at times make you feel undone. But listen closely, it will not destroy you. Because the same prophecy that announced the trial also announced the triumph. You were never promised absence of struggle. You were promised victory in spite of it. And that is why the angels rejoiced when your name was spoken, because they saw the end written even before the beginning began. Picture it. Storms will roar, but you will not sink. Fires will rage, but you will not be consumed. The ground beneath others may collapse, but under your feet, the foundation of God will stand. This is what was unveiled in the secret chambers of eternity, that one life aligned with heaven carries more force than the armies of darkness combined. You will see strange alignments begin to take place. People will cross your path, not by accident, but by orchestration. Opportunities will rise out of places once closed to you. At the same time, certain doors will slam shut with finality. Do not mourn them. The prophecy does not need every door, only the right one. And when it swings open, it will not just change your direction, it will change the lives of countless others tethered to your obedience. There will be nights where you question whether what you are experiencing is real. Nights where the weight feels too much, and you whisper into the silence, "Why me?" But let the unveiling answer you, because heaven already spoke it. Because the end was revealed before your beginning was even complete. Because God trusted you with a measure of weight that only you could carry, knowing you would bend but not break, stumble but not shatter, cry but still rise. The prophecy is this: you are stepping into a season where what was hidden will come into the open. What was whispered in darkness will be shouted in light. And your very existence will become a testimony not of your strength but of God's faithfulness. You are not the author of the story. You are the living page on which His promise is written. And that page is now being turned. So breathe deeply. Let the weight settle, not as fear, but as confirmation. For the prophecy has not come to haunt you, it has come to awaken you. And every sign from here forward will prove what heaven has already declared. The prophecy is not only an announcement of events to come, it is a revelation of patterns that stretch beyond your life into eternity itself. To understand why the angels spoke of you before the end was revealed, you must see the hidden rhythm beneath the surface of all things. Nothing in heaven unfolds by accident. Every storm carries meaning. Every silence conceals instruction. Every delay has a purpose written into it. Think of your life as a journey through seasons. There were winters where everything seemed barren, where hope froze under the weight of unanswered prayers. There were springs where sudden opportunities bloomed, unexpected and beautiful. Summers where the heat of trial pressed you, refining your spirit like fire. And autumns where what no longer served you was stripped away. Each season felt disconnected, but heaven saw them as one thread woven toward fulfillment. The meaning is this: you were never wandering, you were being prepared. Destiny is not simply about reaching a place. It is about becoming a vessel able to carry what heaven intends to pour. The storms you endured were not punishments, but trainings. Like a soldier sharpened through battle drills, your faith was being conditioned to hold steady when the true war came. Every tear watered the ground for future growth. Every disappointment carved out space for a deeper measure of glory. Without those valleys, you would not have the strength to climb the mountain now rising before you. The prophecy holds another depth: divine timing. The end was revealed before your name was, because God always finishes before he begins. This means your outcome is already secure. When you stand in moments of confusion, remember the author is not panic. The chapters of your life may feel chaotic, but in heaven's manuscript, the conclusion has already been sealed. What you call delay, God calls alignment. What you call rejection, heaven calls redirection. What you call loss, eternity calls foundation for something greater. Let me paint it for you. Imagine standing at the edge of a storm-tossed sea. The waves rise higher than your head, threatening to crush you. Yet, hidden beneath the chaos is a current pulling you exactly where you need to go. To the natural eye, it looks like danger. To the divine eye, it is guidance. That is how the prophecy works. It disguises direction inside what feels like disruption. Light and darkness have always danced in opposition. But in you, light is learning to shine not only as comfort, but as confrontation. That is why you cannot blend in. That is why environments shift when you enter. You carry light, calibrated for this exact hour of history. And the more you walk in alignment, the more that light will expose the shadows, not only around you but within others. This is not a curse, it is a calling. You are the reminder that no darkness lasts forever. Faith is the bridge between what was spoken and what will manifest. Without faith, the prophecy remains words hovering in the air. With faith, it becomes substance. Every step you take in trust anchors the invisible into reality. That is why you have been tested so relentlessly, not because God doubted you, but because your faith needed to stretch wide enough to hold the fulfillment when it comes. The depth of this prophecy is also transformation. What is being unveiled is not simply an external shift, but an internal awakening. You will not only walk into new seasons, you will walk into a new version of yourself, one that carries wisdom born of fire, authority shaped by obedience, and discernment sharpened by trial. Heaven's strategy was never only to change your circumstances. It was to change you so you could change circumstances for others. Consider the image of a door. For years, you may have stood before doors that would not open, knocking until your hands were raw. But those doors remained closed because heaven had another in mind, one that required you to mature, to strengthen, to prepare. Now, when it opens, you will not just walk through. You will carry others behind you. That is the meaning. You are not chosen only for yourself, you are chosen for a generation. So let your heart expand. Do not shrink from the weight of this calling. The spiritual depth of the prophecy is this: what was spoken about you is not simply about your survival, but about your assignment. And the end that was revealed is not an end of despair, but an end of old patterns, old chains, old limitations, so that something eternal, radiant, and unstoppable can begin through you. And how will you know these words are not mere echoes? How will you recognize that the prophecy spoken over you is real, alive, already pressing into the fabric of your days? The answer is found in the signs, subtle and undeniable confirmations, that heaven plants along your path, so you cannot dismiss what is happening. These signs are not coincidences, they are fingerprints of eternity. First, there will be the sign of repetition. Words, numbers, or themes will begin circling you, appearing in conversations, songs, even the random glance at a clock. You will hear the same message from different sources, as if the universe itself is conspiring to remind you of what heaven already declared. It will feel too precise to ignore, too persistent to brush aside. Second, you will notice the sign of isolation. People you once leaned on may suddenly distance themselves. Doors that once welcomed you may close. This will sting, but it will also leave you in a silence where only God's voice can echo. What feels like rejection is actually divine repositioning, creating the space for your spirit to hear what the crowd could never confirm. Third, watch for the sign of unusual strength. In moments where you expected to collapse, you will find yourself still standing. In nights where despair should have drowned you, you will discover an unexplainable peace. Others may marvel, "How are you not broken?" but you will know the hand of God is carrying you. This resilience is not natural, it is supernatural. Fourth, the sign of opposition. Resistance will rise not because you are wrong, but because you are right on course. Shadows do not waste energy on empty threats. They focus their fire where heaven has invested authority. If you feel targeted, misunderstood, or attacked without reason, do not be shaken. It is confirmation that you carry something the darkness fears. Fifth, there will be the sign of divine alignment. People you have never met will speak into your life with uncanny accuracy. Unexpected resources will appear just when you need them. Pathways you never considered will suddenly open. It will feel as though invisible hands are arranging the details of your journey, pushing you toward fulfillment step by step. And finally, you will encounter the sign of inner knowing, not a loud voice, but a steady conviction that grows within you. At first, it may feel fragile, like a whisper, but over time, it will strengthen, anchoring you even when outward evidence seems lacking. This is heaven's confirmation planted directly into your spirit, the place where no one else can touch, the place only God can write His truth. So pay attention. The signs are already around you. Some of them you've dismissed as coincidence, others you've brushed off as imagination. But the Spirit says, look again. The repetition, the isolation, the strength, the opposition, the alignments. The inner knowing, these are not random. They are markers, guiding you deeper into the prophecy that angels spoke of long before the end was revealed. But alongside the signs, there will be challenges, hidden battles woven into the path you must walk. These challenges are not punishments. They are confirmations in disguise, designed to refine what has already been placed within you. And though they may feel heavy, they carry within them the seed of your rising. The first hidden challenge will be misunderstanding. People will see your shift, but misinterpret it. They may label your awakening as arrogance, your silence as rejection, your obedience as rebellion. This will cut deeply, especially when it comes from those you love. But remember, not everyone can discern the weight you carry. The misinterpretation is not about your failure. It is about their inability to see beyond the surface. The second will be delay. Doors you know were promised will not swing open when you expect them. Opportunities may linger just out of reach, and the temptation will rise to doubt if you heard God correctly. Yet delay is not denial. It is the furnace where patience and endurance are forged. In the silence of waiting, your spirit is stretched to hold the fulfillment when it arrives. The third hidden challenge is fatigue. Spiritual weight will sometimes translate into physical weariness. You may feel drained without clear reason, as if unseen hands are pressing against you. Do not mistake this for weakness. It is the resistance of darkness sensing your momentum. The fatigue itself is proof you are advancing. The fourth challenge will be inner conflict. There will be nights when you question your worth, your ability, even your calling. Doubt will try to erode the foundation of your faith. Yet in those moments, remember, the enemy would not fight so hard against you if heaven had not already sealed your assignment. The war within you is evidence of the promise hovering over you. And finally, the challenge of loneliness. Even in a crowded room, you will feel set apart. Friendships may fade, communities may no longer resonate, and you may wonder if you will always walk alone. But this solitude is not abandonment, it is consecration. It is heaven drawing you closer, away from noise, into intimacy with the one who authored your purpose. These hidden challenges are not meant to break you, they are meant to prove you. They sharpen your discernment, deepen your faith, and strip away what cannot journey into the next season. Every misunderstanding becomes a lesson in identity. Every delay becomes training in trust. Every fatigue becomes reliance on grace. Every inner conflict becomes a battlefield where faith triumphs over fear. Every moment of loneliness becomes a sanctuary where God whispers secrets only you were meant to hear. So do not despise these challenges. See them for what they are, confirmations clothed in difficulty. Trials that announce the prophecy is alive and nearing fulfillment. Tests that reveal the weight of what you are carrying. For when the unveiling comes, you will not just arrive, you will arrive prepared. If the prophecy is to be fulfilled, if the whispers of angels are to become the living reality of your days, then you must not only hear, you must act. Revelation without obedience fades into memory, but revelation met with action reshapes history. That is why heaven always speaks with instruction, not just comfort. And what follows are not suggestions. They are sacred steps meant to align you with what has already been written. The first instruction is this: guard your atmosphere. Not every voice deserves access to your spirit. Not every presence should be allowed near the seed heaven has planted in you. There will be people who seem harmless but carry subtle toxins of doubt, fear, or distraction. You must become a watchman over your own soul. Choose conversations that water your faith. Surround yourself with those who call you higher. Silence what drains you, so the prophecy within you has room to breathe. The second instruction: cultivate discipline. Anointing without structure collapses under pressure. You must rise early, pray deeply, meditate on the word until it becomes your anchor. You must train your body, mind, and emotions to submit to the Spirit. This is not about rigid performance, it is about readiness. Just as a soldier does not wait until the war begins to sharpen his blade, you cannot wait until the trial comes to build your strength. Begin now. The third instruction: obey without delay. Heaven does not measure obedience by intention but by response. When God prompts you, move quickly. Do not debate endlessly with your own logic. Do not weigh divine instruction against human opinion. If he says, speak, speak. If he says, move, move. Every act of swift obedience builds momentum that the enemy cannot disrupt. The fourth instruction: keep your heart pure. Bitterness, jealousy, resentment. These are cracks in the vessel. If you carry them, the oil cannot flow freely. Forgive quickly. Release offenses. Do not let your spirit become entangled in the snares of pettiness. The prophecy requires a vessel that is light enough to be carried by the wind of the Spirit, not weighted by grudges. The fifth instruction: sow into the unseen. Give where you are led. Pray even when no one watches. Bless others without seeking recognition. Every unseen seed becomes visible fruit in its time. Heaven records what the earth ignores. And when the day of fulfillment comes, the harvest of those hidden acts will rise to meet you. The sixth instruction: sharpen your discernment. Learn to distinguish the voice of God from the noise of fear and the whispers of the enemy. Discernment is not given once, it is honed daily. Ask the Spirit to teach you the difference between what glitters and what is truly gold, between distraction and direction. This will be your shield in a world designed to confuse. The seventh instruction: walk with expectancy. Expectancy is not arrogance, it is alignment. To expect what God has spoken is to honor His word. Do not walk as though the prophecy is a distant dream. Walk as though it is already on its way, because it is. Your posture of expectation becomes a magnet for fulfillment. And finally, the instruction of surrender. The prophecy is weighty, but it is not yours to control. Lay down the need to dictate how it unfolds. Trust the one who already revealed the end before your beginning. Surrender is not weakness. It is the posture that allows heaven's power to flow unhindered through you. These instructions are not burdens, they are blueprints. Each one is a step carved into the mountain of destiny. And if you follow them, you will not stumble blindly into the prophecy, you will ascend into it with clarity, strength, and divine authority. And as you walk these instructions out, do not think for a moment that you will do so alone. The same heaven that spoke your name, the same angels that announced you before the end was revealed, now surround you like a shield. You are not stepping into this prophecy unguarded, you are stepping wrapped in divine protection. Picture it: unseen warriors stationed at your side, flames of fire encamped around your dwelling. You may not see them with your natural eyes, but you will feel the strange peace that comes in the middle of chaos. That is not coincidence, that is covering. Heaven has assigned angels to your journey, not as ornaments, but as defenders, interceptors, guides. Every step you take, every place your foot lands, carries the weight of this unseen protection. When storms rise against you, remember the storm may roar, but it cannot swallow what God has sealed. When weapons form against you, they may aim, but they cannot prosper. When voices rise in accusation, they may shout, but they cannot overturn what heaven has decreed. Your shield is not fragile. It is forged in eternity. Protection will not always look like escape. Sometimes God will allow you to step into the fire, not to burn you, but to prove that the flames cannot consume you. Sometimes He will allow the lions to roar, not to harm you, but to show that their mouths cannot open against you. Sometimes He will permit the valley to feel dark, only so you learn that His rod and staff are enough to keep you walking. This is your assurance. You are held. Even when you do not feel strong enough to hold on to Him, He is holding on to you. Even when doubt whispers that you are vulnerable, heaven's record declares you are covered. Even when fear suggests that you are surrounded, faith reminds you that those who are with you are greater than those against you. And there will be moments when you feel a sudden stillness, as if time itself has paused for you. In those moments, take courage. It is the Spirit wrapping you in assurance, letting you know that the author of all things has not stepped away for a single second. So walk boldly. You are not fragile glass waiting to shatter. You are tempered steel covered in grace. You are not a target left unguarded. You are a vessel wrapped in light. You are not walking unprotected. You are moving with an entourage of heaven's own sentinels, carrying you forward into the prophecy. Let this truth anchor you. You are covered, you are kept, and you are never, ever alone. And when the covering of heaven carries you through the fire, through the storms, through the silence of waiting, something begins to shift, not only around you, but within you. This is where prophecy ceases to be words on the wind and becomes life in motion. This is the moment of transformation, the hour where fulfillment breaks forth. It will not happen with fanfare, but with clarity. One morning you will wake up and realize the heaviness you carried for years has lifted. The bitterness that tried to root in your soul will have no soil left to cling to. The fear that once controlled your steps will no longer have a voice. The chains that defined your past will be shattered, and you will feel, for the first time, the freedom of walking in your true name. The transformation is both subtle and seismic. Subtle in how it weaves into your thoughts, your words, your posture. Seismic in how it shakes everything connected to you. Those who once overlooked you will be unable to ignore the light now radiating from you. Environments that once drained you will now shift when you enter. Even creation itself will seem to recognize that something has changed. You are walking in alignment with what heaven always said you were. Fulfillment is not simply the arrival of blessings, it is the arrival of clarity. Suddenly, you will look back on the storms, the delays, the hidden challenges, and see the pattern that once felt senseless. You will realize the nights of loneliness carved out space for intimacy with God. You will see how the rejection redirected you into rooms you were truly meant for. You will understand that every delay stretched your faith to carry what now rests in your hands. What felt like detours were, in fact, the exact road to destiny. This transformation will mark you with authority. Not the authority of titles or applause, but the authority of someone who has been through fire and did not burn, who has walked through waters and did not drown. When you speak, there will be weight, because your words will not come from theory but from testimony. You will carry the fragrance of one who has been in the presence of the Almighty, and those around you will sense it even if they cannot explain it. And then comes fulfillment. The prophecy will not remain invisible, it will manifest. Doors that were sealed will burst open. Relationships ordained for your destiny will align. Opportunities heaven preserved for this exact hour will unfold. You will step into assignments greater than you imagined, not because you sought greatness, but because greatness was written into your purpose. And with every step, you will know, this is not luck, this is not chance, this is prophecy fulfilled. The fulfillment will not only bless you, it will ripple outward. Others will be healed because of your obedience. Families will be restored because of your testimony. Generations will be shifted because you said yes. Your transformation is not selfish, it is catalytic. You are not only living your story, you are rewriting stories for others who will walk behind you. This is the fulfillment angels whispered of, the outcome declared before the end was revealed. You are living it now, not as a dream, but as destiny incarnate. And as you step into this season, let gratitude rise like incense. For the prophecy has not failed, the author has not abandoned his script. And you are standing in the middle of everything heaven promised. And now, as the prophecy settles into your spirit, as the words you have heard echo in your soul, let us seal this moment with truth you can carry into every day forward. For revelation without affirmation fades quickly, but spoken affirmations plant roots deep into the unseen. Repeat these words. Let them rise from your lips. Let them carve strength into your heart. Affirmation 1. I am divinely chosen, spoken of before time, sealed for this moment. Affirmation 2. I walk in protection that cannot be broken, covered by heaven's shield. Affirmation 3. Every trial shapes me, every delay refines me, every challenge proves me. Affirmation 4. The prophecy over my life is alive, unfolding, and unstoppable. Hold them, repeat them, breathe them until they become the rhythm of your days. These are not just words, they are declarations aligning your spirit with the end that has already been revealed. And now hear this blessing. You are not forgotten, not forsaken, not overlooked. You are carried in the heart of the eternal. You are guarded by angels who spoke your name before you ever spoke theirs. You are moving toward fulfillment, not by accident but by design. The winds of heaven push you forward. The hand of God steadies your steps. The fire of the Spirit burns within you, brighter than the shadows that try to surround you. When fear whispers, may faith rise louder. When darkness presses close, may light break forth through you. When doubt tries to steal your certainty, may the memory of these words anchor you in truth. Heaven has already declared your victory. Walk with your head lifted, not in pride, but in holy confidence. Walk with your heart steady, not in arrogance, but in trust. Walk with your spirit open, not in fear, but in expectancy. For the end has already been revealed, and your name is written within it. So go, not as one uncertain, but as one assured. Go, not as one waiting to see if God will move, but as one who knows He already has. Go, not as one searching for validation, but as one who carries heaven's validation within their very being. The blessing rests on you now. The prophecy seals you now. The promise is alive in you now. And nothing will undo what angels spoke of you before the end was revealed.